Hello again, fourth graders. Today we're looking at Module 3, Lesson 6. And in this lesson, we are going to learn to multiply two-digit multiples of 10 by other two-digit multiples of 10 using an area model. And an area model is a visual way for us to show how we can multiply numbers together. And when we are thinking about how to multiply, we want to go from one step to another. We've already practiced with repeated addition, where if we have a multiplication problem or multiplication sentence, we are doing repeated addition. So 3 times 8 means we have 3 groups of 8, which is 8 plus 8 plus 8, which equals 24. So if you count by 8s, that's 8, 16, 24. Same with 4 times 4. You have 4 groups of 4, which is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. But then we know how to group them into 2 groups. So that 4 plus 4 is 8, and this 4 plus 4 is 8. And in the end, we have 8 plus 8, which will equal 16. Now, doing repeated addition is great when we have smaller numbers. But when we start to work with a lot bigger numbers, it will get very tiring to write down every single number and add them all up together. The more steps we have to do, the more room for error we have. So our goal right now is trying to get to knowing how to do the standard algorithm, which is where we have our number written vertically, or numbers, and we can multiply based on what we see. So in the case of 12 times 5, we got 2 times 5 is 10. So we put 0 here and we add the one group of 10 up there, but we still have 1 times 5, which is 5. Then we add that one group, which is 6. Or even to larger numbers, where we have 127 times 12. First, we multiply 127 times 2, which we would get 254. And then 127 times 10, which would actually give us 1,270. Then all we do is add it all up together, and then we're good. So remember, this is our goal. Okay? And the first step to achieving our goal is through using our area model. So let's get started. Now I'm showing you this on grid paper just to show you what it would look like. But in the end, we're not always going to have grid paper. So we're going to need to figure out how can we do this without grid paper, but I'm going to show you with the grid first. So when we think about solving 40 times 2, the first step that we want to do is let's write this in its unit form. So this would be 4 tens times 2 tens. And we're going to try to figure out what will that equal. Now, the first step is we're going to draw a rectangle thinking about 4 tens and 2 tens. So 4 tens is its length. So we're going to go downward 4 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this here is 40. And all we need is our 2 tens across, because this is our length, this is our width. So we have 2 tens across. So this is 20. Now remember, this is 40 times 20. Now, of course, you could just go, oh, 4 times 2 is 8. But then you have tens times tens, which is our unit. So we don't know what's going to be there. But we know inside our area now we have 8. Okay? And if you look here, if we count, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, each of these are worth 10 because, remember, it's originally 40. So this 4 tenths we see here equals 40. And then up here, each line is also going to equal 20. Okay? Now, all we have to do is figure out each of these boxes show it's a 10 times 10, okay? So if I write on the other side, we're going to have 10s there and 10s here, okay? So this is one box of 10 times 10. Well, what's 10 times 10? Well, 10 times 10 equals 100. And then look, this box also is 10 times 10. Well, what's 10 times 10? 100. Each box that we see here is always going to be 10 times 10. So that's another 100, another 100. We're going to keep going because each of these is always 10 times 10. So each box is 100, so that's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. So 4 tenths times 2 tenths equals 8 hundredths. Okay, but if you want to write it out, we could show 4 times 2, because we have 4 times 2, which equals 8, and tenths times tenths equals hundreds. Okay, because remember, 10 groups of 10 equals 100. And that's it. That's how we do our area model. Now, let's try another one where you get to try to draw out your area model. So I want you to take this time to draw 50 times 40 and then test your answer to see if it matches mine. So pause the video, draw an area model, and see if you're able to match my answer, okay? All right, welcome back. So we're going to write this out in unit form. So step 1, unit form. Okay, and when we look at the unit form, we see that this is going to be 5 tenths times 4 tenths. Okay, our second step, so step 2, draw the area model. Okay, and when we draw the area model, we know 5 tenths, that's our length. So we're going to go down 5 tenths and 4 tenths across. Okay. So we're going to have 110, 210, 310, 410, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's pretty much our 5 rows. So we have 50, and these are all 10. Now we have, so I'll just write rows just to show. Now we have 4 tenths, which will be our columns, or our width. So across, we're going to make sure we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it doesn't have to be perfect as long as you label each one of these correctly, okay? So now that we have all of this, okay, we know that these 5 tenths equals 50, and those 4 tenths equals 40. Well, remember, all we're doing for multiplication is 10 times 10. And what does 10 times 10 equal? 10 times 10 equals 100. So each of these unit squares inside here is going to be 100. So now if we're going to count 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000, which is 1000, 1100, 1200, 1300, 1400, 1500, 1600, 1700, 1800, 1900, and 20 hundreds. So 20 hundreds is going to be our answer, but we can write that another way. Okay, 20 hundreds is actually equal to 20 and then hundreds, so that equals 2000. Okay, that's how we solve 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication when it's a multiple of 10 using an area model. Okay, and this video looks at your lesson 6, and this is for numbers 2, 3, and 4. Okay, your job is going to be to work on 2 of these. So pick 2 to work on. Okay? And remember, it's the same thing. You're going to be working for 10 minutes on these set of problems. There's going to be another set to do with story problems. So please make sure that you try your best with these 2 with your 10 minutes. And then move on to the next video, okay? All right. If you have any questions, please make sure you let me know so I can help you out. I don't know what you don't know unless you let me know, okay? Good luck.